Hi, my lovely ones. So it's been a long time since I've done a video, and I apologize for that. And I apologize if I look a little rough right now, if I look a little crazy, but it's been a long day, so you'll have to forgive me. Um, but I did film a video. It was the day before yesterday, and in the middle of filming, someone called me, so it kind of intercepted the video and I didn't get to finish it. And then I've been kind of busy since, so I've not actually watched the video to see if it's still, postable or whatever, or post-worthy. So I'm gonna check out that video, and really it was just another update video. So if it's presentable, I'll just upload that, I guess, after I upload this one. But I was just bored and watching some YouTube videos, getting caught up because I've been like super busy lately and a lot's been going on. I mentioned some of it in my update video, so again, if it's post-worthy, then you guys will see that after this one. But yeah, so I've been really busy and I've not even been able to keep up with like my favorite YouTubers and stuff, so I've not really been watching their videos, and I decided to just like kind of skim through some of them. And I was watching one that I'd seen previously, but I just remembered that I might want to do it. So I checked out Zoe's video. You guys know that I'm like a huge fan of Zoe's channel, Zoella. So I was watching that and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. So this is going to be my first time video, as you guys probably saw in the title, and I know that's a really weird title because it's not exactly what it seems. I know it seems a little bit raunchy, or like I'm going to talk about my first sexual encounter, but that's absolutely not true. It's basically just my first times. Like, I wrote a bunch of firsts that I thought were interesting and pertained to me, some of them which I saw in Zoe's video. So I'm going to go through them and just tell you guys about them. So the first one is my first word. I don't remember exactly, and I was too lazy to like go ask my mom, but I believe it was dad, which is really interesting because I never grew up with my dad, so I guess it's just easier to say, so I think that's why I said dada first, and then I think I said mama. My first crush, I didn't really have a crush, like a school crush, because I already, like when I was in kindergarten, I had a little boyfriend, and his name was Troy, and I remember like everything about him because we were in junior kindergarten together, and then come senior kindergarten, whoa, I'm not making any sense. Come senior kindergarten, he moved to Vancouver and he was on a TV show. And if any of you guys know the show Ants in Your Pants, he was on that show. So, and then he's back now, and like I've actually seen him when I was in high school, and I have him on Facebook and stuff. So it's kind of weird, but like he was my first little crush. We were like boyfriend and girlfriend in kindergarten, which is like where'd we get that from? I have no idea. My first celebrity crush was Michael Jackson, I think. Actually, I would say it was Leonardo DiCaprio. I loved Michael Jackson, but I didn't really develop like a crush on him until I was about 11. But Leonardo DiCaprio was in Titanic and I saw him and I just fell in love with him. And before that, I had a crush on a cartoon character from Pocahontas. I had a crush on John Smith. But yeah, then Michael Jackson, I started crushing on him when I was like 11 or so. My first kiss, it's interesting. A lot of people like make a big deal about their first kiss, but I don't even really remember mine. I think there's a couple of people. I think it either was one or the other. I really don't know. But the person who stands out in my mind is this guy named Neil. I still know him now. Like we live in the same neighborhood and stuff, so it's kind of funny. But I think we liked each other. Like had like little crushes or whatever when we were about 8. And then I think that continued on until we were about like 11 or 12. So I think maybe between that time we might have like pecked or something on the lips. I really don't remember, but I'm thinking that he was my first kiss because he was my first like boyfriend type of thing. Which is leads to the next question is first boyfriend. Apart from my little kindergarten boyfriend, which then I had another kindergarten boyfriend, his name was Earl. I think that Neil might have been my first boyfriend as well. So, like I said, we kind of like liked each other. Not like boyfriend as in that kind of thing, but we were like, I don't know, always paired together for some reason. So he was kind of like my little boyfriend. Um, my first real boyfriend, I had a boyfriend named Danelle. He was not really, like, it was a long distance type of thing anyway, so it wasn't really a real boyfriend. So I would say Stuart, who was my last boyfriend, he was my first as well, my first real boyfriend at least. So yeah. Next question is for stuffed animal or doll. I don't have them with me. I wanted to like show you guys, but I couldn't find the doll. But my first stuffed animal's name was Strawberry. It was like a little white teddy, and the paws were like red with white dots. So we named it Strawberry. That's the first stuffed animal I remember, and the first doll I ever had. I think I had it since I was like born. Her name is Priscilla, and she's a little pink doll with a bonnet on. And when you squeeze her tummy, she makes a little noise like what? So I still have her. I just didn't. I wasn't able to find her. First love. I think I've only been in love once thus far, and that was with Stuart. And if you guys are wondering who Stuart are, like who Stuart are. If you guys are wondering who Stuart is, I have a boyfriend tag, well, ex-boyfriend tag on my channel, and it did really, really well, so a lot of people have probably already seen it, but if you haven't, you can go check it out if you want. I haven't taken it down or anything like that. First makeup item. When I was little, I used to be obsessed with nail polish, but like my mom would only let me wear clear nail polish. So one Christmas, I remember she bought me this like play set that came with colored nail polishes, and it wasn't real nail polish because you could like peel it off, but I remember having those. And then I think one year I got like a makeup kit. So I've always had like those like cheap little dinky makeup items, but my first official makeup item I think was like a lipstick or something like that. First best friend, the first person who pops in my mind is this girl named Natalia, and we were in kindergarten together. And then also Paula. Paula was like my ultimate best friend. Like, she was this Polish girl. She was the sweetest person ever. Like, she was so nice. And I think because she was the only child, she like really, really like liked me. And I used to go to her house and play all the time. And she lived with her mom, her dad, and her grandma, but her grandma would always take care of her. And I just remember she taught me like how to say grandma in Polish, which is like babcia or something like that. And I'll just never forget her. We lost contact, but I'll never forget her. She was like my best friend. First time being hospitalized. I decided to include this because I think I've only been hospitalized maybe once or twice, but the one time that I remember is I had an asthma attack, and I went to the doctor. They sent me to the hospital, and then from there they were just supposed to like give me the nebulizer and just do some tests or whatever. But I ended up having to stay overnight, which then turned into like a week in the hospital. I think it was like a week or two that I spent in the hospital. It was the worst time of my life. I think I was 6, or maybe I was 5 or 6. And ever since then, I just hate hospitals because it just reminds me of being in the hospital. I hated it. First concert. I've been to like little concerts and stuff, but the first official concert I went to with like celebrities was a concert with Trey Songz, Mario, and Omarion. And I really liked Omarion at the time because he was touring with Bow Wow, and Bow Wow was like, oh my god, my like husband at the time. So I thought like, well, I can't see Bow Wow, but Omarion like is really close to him and whatever. So I went to that concert and I had so much fun. I went with my mom, but like a friend of mine from high school went with her sister, so like we kind of saw each other there. And yeah, that was my first concert. But the best concert I've ever been to was the Janet Jackson #1 tour. I had the best time, and I went to see that with Stuart. First time out of the country, I think the first time that I left the country was when I went to England. My mom was born in England, so we traveled there, and I believe that was my first vacation, but if it wasn't, I think it was just to the US, which is like the neighboring country, so it wasn't that far. First job was, I used to have a newspaper route that I did with my brother, but first official job was at McDonald's, and I worked there for 3 years. I got it when I was 15. I believe I was in grade 10, and a bunch of my friends from school also got the job, so we all worked together. It was crazy. It was fun, but also kind of stressful working at McDonald's. So yeah, that was my first job. My first car was like this crusty car. I don't have a car right now. I've never had a car. This car only counts because my mom had bought it for my brother, and I guess he didn't really like it that much because it wasn't the cutest car. It was like an old brown, I think it was a Mercury, Ford Mercury, or something like that. I don't know. And it looked like it was a convertible, but you couldn't actually take the top off, and it was boxy, like it was pretty old. And I guess my brother didn't like the way it looked, so he didn't want to drive it. So it just sat in the garage, and then my mom was like, hey, when my brother moved out, my mom was like, hey, if you want it, you can have it for when you start learning to drive. So that's essentially what it was supposed to be for, but I loafed it on getting my license, so I never drove it. I only drove it once because my brother actually decided he needed to use a car. So he asked me if he could use it until I was ready to use it, and so I kind of gave it back to him. It was his car again, and he let me drive it once, and that was it, because after that, I think he either totaled it or something happened to the car, and I never saw it again. So that was my first car, and I drove it once. And last question, first video, you guys may, like, if you guys have stuck around that long, you guys may have seen my first video. It's still on my channel. I don't really intend to take it down. I don't know. I'm gonna like go through my videos one day and see if I want to take anything down. But I wanted this channel to be random and authentic anyway, so I don't mind if it's like embarrassing. It's just, it was my first video anyway. But I do remember it being really awkward. Like, I wasn't myself in at least a lot of my first videos. Like, maybe the first few videos I really was like kind of shy and more quiet and toned down, but still crazy, so it's really weird. Like, but yeah, that was my first video. I think it's called My Very Crazy First Video or something like that. I have no idea, but it's here on my channel if you guys want to go check it out. So yeah, that is my first time video, and I apologize that I've not been doing videos, but I do very strongly believe that I will be posting my update video, so it explains a little bit more of why I've been so busy, and you know, it's been summer and everything like that, so of course I've been like out and about and doing things. But I hope you guys have been cool, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you very soon. Bye, my lovely ones.